Tesla said that they're going to produce a new, cheaper car. And don't get me wrong, they need to produce this car. I'm just not convinced that it's going to sell as well or turn the company around in the way that people think it will. Don't forget that Tesla's Model 3 was supposed to be their cheap car. That was supposed to be the low end of the lineup for Tesla. And yet, somehow, they need an even cheaper car. Well, think about the United States for a second. How many really small, cheap cars are sold in the United States? The answer is not many. Most people in the United States are driving large SUVs. They might drive a truck, a pickup, sometimes a minivan. If they do drive a car, it's usually going to be a mid-sized to large sedan, something like a Model 3 or Model S. There are very few small, compact, cheap cars sold in the United States. The US is simply too large to really have a good market for that. Now, where I do think Tesla needs to produce this vehicle is for Europe and India. In Europe, a lot of times people are driving maybe 5 miles to work each day versus the 30, 40, 50 miles people might drive here in the United States. And also the roads in Europe are a lot smaller. And a lot of people in Europe drive these small compact cars. You think like smart cars and some of the smaller Opels and things. So I do think that the vehicle will sell very well in Europe, especially coming out of the Berlin factory. The other place that I think Tesla really needs to produce this vehicle for is India. India's roads are so congested, they're so compact, and you really need a very small vehicle to navigate the roads in India. So if Tesla wants to break into the India market, I think it's going to be very crucial that they produce this vehicle. Now, there are a couple of things we're going to have to watch out for. It's up to you to decide if Tesla can pull this off or not. First concern I have is when are they actually going to deliver this vehicle? Part of the problem is, as we've seen in the past, what Tesla typically does is they will go out, they will announce a new vehicle, and then they'll start doing some pre-sales for it. It might be 1 to 2 years before they actually start doing deliveries. Also, the last launch that we had, which was the Cybertruck, didn't actually go that well as far as launch. It took a lot longer than people were expecting. Once it did launch, there's been problems. They've already had the first recall. They've only delivered 2,500 vehicles. We've already got fit and finish issues. We had pedals getting stuck that they had to do a recall on. People are complaining of corrosion on the body already. And it's just not been a great launch for Tesla. As a result, the stock prices continue to drop. It's gone down and down and down. Now, keep in mind that the Cybertruck was supposed to be the saving grace for Tesla, and yet the stock just went down and down and down. So far, the Cybertruck has not produced the results that people were hoping that it would. And if you look at Tesla's forward PE ratio, it's still at 50, and actually after the initial rally that we just got, the forward PE ratio is even higher now. So Tesla is really going to have to turn the company around in order to grow into the current valuation of the stock. Now, this small compact vehicle could do it. It's probably not going to help here in the United States at all. It is not the right vehicle for the US market. I don't even think it's going to do that well in China, but it could significantly help sales and deliveries in both Europe and especially in India. Now, once this vehicle does actually go onto the market, the next question is, will Tesla actually be able to make money from it? And I don't think they will. We have seen a trend with Tesla over the past few years of putting their vehicles on discount, their margins going down and down and down and down, and Elon Musk is hoping to make up for these low margins with their full self-driving. So let's say that 10% of people actually pay the $8,000 for full self-driving, then that's an extra $800 per vehicle. So even if they sell the vehicles at cost to make no profit on them whatsoever, they can still make $800 per vehicle with full self-driving. Now, as Elon Musk is offering a free month of full self-driving to try it out, it's possible that the conversion rate for those sales is going to go up. And if it does, we could see a lot more adoption of FSD and as a result, more profits for Tesla. Again, it's up to you to kind of figure out, when is this vehicle actually going to go on sale? Will Elon Musk and Tesla actually be able to make a profit from this? Or is it going to be a vehicle that they're going to sell at cost or below cost, hoping to make up for it with FSD sales? And just how well is it actually going to do? Here in the United States, probably not that well, certainly not the right market for it. Now, in other parts of the world, especially India, this could significantly increase deliveries. Again, we just don't know what this is going to do for the profit. The one thing that we know for sure from Tesla is higher deliveries do not equal higher profits. We have seen a long-term trend with Tesla of deliveries going higher and higher, and yet profits not keeping up with the increase in deliveries. And most recently, Tesla's been in a lot of trouble. They've laid off 10% of their global workforce. Their sales are down, their revenue is down, their profits are down. And this is all coming at the same time when companies like Ford and GM are beating earnings expectations. Tesla is missing earnings expectations. They're in trouble. They need a fix now. If they can get the small compact car out within the next year, they might have a chance of turning things around. But if it takes 2 or 3 years, what we could end up seeing is an initial pop in the stock price due to all the hype and speculation around this new, cheaper vehicle. And then once reality starts to set in and people realize Tesla actually isn't going to make any money off these vehicles, that they're essentially a lost leader trying to make money off FSD, or if the vehicle just takes a lot longer to produce, say it takes 2 or 3 years to deliver instead of the 6 to 8 months that people are currently expecting, that could cause the stock price to go down in the future. So just be wary about what's going on right now. Essentially, Tesla would have to have perfect execution on this new vehicle in order for the stock to grow into its current valuation. If Tesla is unable to have perfect execution, if we see any of the sort of problems with this new vehicle that we saw with the Cybertruck, we could end up seeing that stock price continue to drop.